locally. We believe in Vasudha Kutumbakam, and for that we have to economic, social, and environmental dimensions of sustainable development as intergenerational equity. We need to kind of actions for creating demand by affordability, but approach market to justify the role of needonomics. I am interested to ask you a question. What is this? Are you hearing producers, distributors, and traders? I am interested to advocate the NA approach of marketing, and for that, I am creating a need for pen type water filter. As we are suffering from water pollution on the last day of financial year, that is 31st. Let me honestly tell you, we have that globalization of Indianization has taken place when people have stopped shaking hands, hugging, and they have started saying namaste and namaskar. Therefore, namaste and namaskar have to be changed in the post-pandemic. Stop this blame game. We should stop the war of words. We should change our looks, actions, and words to make change in law excelling. Called a needonomist who talk economics of need, that the rate of progress in spirituality is faster than the rate of progress in materialism. And spiritually guided materialism strategy flows practically from shloka number 22 of chapter 9, which I have already recited and used by LIS of India, Yogam Kshemam Bhamyam, that justifies. Let me honestly tell you that we have to have sustainable development in our economies, and for that we have to ensure intergeneration equity. We have to use the resources judiciously. Let me conclude what I had told to you, that to take care of the needs, adopt minimax strategy, minimizing the possible loss of Bharat by treating business more than money making as social entrepreneurs with moral values. To contribute in sustenance to be imbibed as an from GEETA and Anu. The path ahead for sustainable development of business, we need concrete plan of action for creating demand by adopting NAW, need, affordability, and worth approach of marketing. We need balance.
These days, it's a one Bitcoin is equal to 51,000 USD dollar. Okay, so that means how many Indian? It's 3.5 million Indian rupee. So if you want to buy about it, the value. So I want to highlight another facts. Do you know how much that Bitcoin network consume power? It consumes more than the country like Argentina or Netherlands like countries' power consumption. If it is ranking above with the countries, it's the 30th highest energy consumption in the world. Okay, if that scenario, how can I bring blockchain technology is a sustainable development? So it's something like that. Okay, I'm going to address these type of the facts. So when utilize blockchain technology for sustainable development. This is my rough outline. So with limited time, I am trying to give you some introduction about blockchain, a little bit about technology background and application in sustainable area, and a little bit introduction about my center, because it's people who would like to go to the higher study like thing, it's maybe useful. Blockchain, it's some keyword. If you hear that word, it's coming with the cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, mining, peer-to-peer, security, trust, those kind of words. Okay, what is actually it? We are going to open that black box now within 5-10 minutes and see what is inside that black box called blockchain. After 5-10 minutes, its initiation happened with the two famous papers. These two researchers from 1991. This research paper talk most of the blockchain-based concept and technological things in this paper. However, unknown person or unknown group published a white paper called Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. And after that, 2009, the person or maybe the group of research they call Satoshi Nakamoto has introduced Bitcoin cryptocurrency network as a first ever blockchain network in the world and also first ever cryptocurrency in the world. So actually, what is that blockchain? Simply, it's a blockchain also data storing mechanism like other database. But different is these data distribute across the different nodes. Node may be a simple another server, it may be a laptop or computer, it may be even the mobile phone. And each node maintain their own ledger or own blockchain data set. And when new data set come, making as a bundle called block and amend it to the ledger, as you can see in that image. So it's having a lot of blocks and linked by using the cryptographic hash function. I will explain a little bit because if you are on the computer science, you know about that word. But if you are outside the computer science, it's a new word for you. I will introduce later. So it link each other. That's why it's called. That's why it's called as a blockchain. And very important parameter is there. Its record are immutable. That means if you talk about traditional system, even unauthorized person or hacker or attacker come and delete it and edit it. But blockchain network, you can't delete it or update it. That means the record are immutable. It's highly secure. So I will introduce that previous word, cryptographic hash. What is it? Cryptographic hash is as a human being or person. If you have a fingerprint, if you have a person, you can match these two things and you can understand, okay, this is the same person's fingerprint. Same like it's any data, say be an image, maybe audio, we can generate the hash value. It's a little bit long string. So it is unique for this particular data set. If you change anything, as an example, okay, Samusen is totally changed, everything will be changed. What happened? If you see the right side image, so each block, all the data set and making its fingerprint and keep that fingerprint in the next block. What happens? Somebody come and change the previous block fingerprint, the data set, fingerprint will change, next block identify. I will explain a little bit it now. Okay, think about that the random block called n. It may be 1,000 block or maybe a 10,000 block and n plus block and n2 block. So somebody came and changed the value of transaction 57. Now what happened? So value of the transaction 57 change, that means the hash value of particular block whole data set change. Now there is a mismatch with the own hash value. So attacker has to change that value also. Now it is a match with the transaction change one and the change hash value, but there is an issue. As previously I told you, we kept this information in the next block also. Now there is a mismatch. So attacker has to attack the next block also. So same way he has to change all the data set throughout the blockchain. So think about this is continually happening. Usually this blockchain may be having a 10,000 or 100,000, 100 million blocks. Think about it. If 1,000 blocks change as a Bitcoin network, one block creating in the 10 minutes, that means the 10,000 minutes it takes. That means roughly around how many 150 hours, that means around 5-6 days to change whole networks. To change a single value, it will take almost impossible to doing in attack. But in my personal view, it's more like focus for the social and environment and also economical thing. So I will not the 100%, it may be a 1% or maybe 0.001%. But how this solution can be? First one is the no poverty. So there is a very famous blockchain application called AssetStream. It's a microfinance tool. So it gives almost very blockchain enabled microfinance, almost zero cost for the additional things. So like you can borrow money from your neighbor like level, it's come to that level. There are another lot of applications like Africa implement the thing. So those like solution are try to minimize the poverty in the world and zero hunger. So hunger is a very big issue in the world. If you talk about currently 2 billion people has a food security issue. That means they have food, but they are not in the perfect level food. If you talk about 800 million people currently even suffering from the hunger, so it's a big number. So this is the Govin and one of the project. They try to give directly farmer to the lowest wastage and the lowest pricing with the logistic. So no middleman. and it's directly into all the unnecessary system, given highest level of democracy of people. And the 13th point is the collaboration and partnership and how to help others. So PO8 is implementing natural disaster relief application, and other things like what is called refugee and help and aid and monitoring like things. So a lot of things are going. So if you look at the blockchain like a cryptocurrency angle, like, okay, it's like a high power consumption like things, so it's not. But if you look at the different angle, blockchain can give lot of sustainability impact to the world, even align with the UN 17 goals. Okay, I will take 1 minute to give a small introduction to our center, because if there may be a prospective PhD applicants and some kind of people like to know about a little bit. So our center has more than 20 senior academic professors and academic members, and 15 plus industry partners, and around 15 PhD research going on these days, and many industry projects and scholarships for the undergraduate and the postgraduate.
Thank you so very much, Samudaya. And I think your relevant points for sustainability with the concept that is blockchain as an innovation in futuristic technology was the most relevant part of the discussion and deliberation today. And I believe that whatever value addition our delegates and students have got insight towards this concept and its importance for sustainable development, I think is the most important concern of this keynote address. I extend my thanks for such a deliberation from your side on the most relevant technology, that is blockchain. And that is the need of hour for the whole world. Thank you so very much, and looking forward to associate on the research part of this blockchain as a futuristic technology for engineering as well as for other professional students and the researcher. Thank you so very much, dear, for your valuable insights and inputs. Thanks. I would request my colleague to introduce the next keynote speaker. And over to Ms. Isha.
Thank you, Samudaya sir, for sharing your valuable experience. Now it's time for our next keynote speaker. So it is our great pleasure to welcome Dr. Paul Jorge Nogueira Torquato from Portugal. And his topic for today is the robot attitude, educate, teach, and integrate. So I would like to give a brief about Dr. Paul. His graduate.
And in these projects, we use every subject and we do an interdisciplinary work with them. We had in this project several pedagogical innovation awards, but this one was very important because we won from a bank. It's a project contest. A bank a lot of money to buy new robots and to implement our work. We are usually invited to go to the university to show our work, and they participate in events. This is First Lego League. As you see, we can engage the parents to be with them, to help them, to motivate them. And for kids in our school, other schools, as you see, it's another image, and our students who disapproved a lot a few years ago, now they are teaching teachers about robotics and programming. Our work, our project was in 2016 nominated to the WSIS Award and SDG for Quality Education. It was an honor for us to be our work, to be recognized all over the world. And we start improving. As a small example, these 20 kids and all the teachers were doing a small project 8 of these kids disapproved 4 years in a row, 8 3 years, and the other 6 2 years in a row. And they did a robot, a guide robot, and this is from Portuguese television. They invited us to be with them and to show our project. These kids who kept disapproving a lot during these studies won honorable mention in an engineering contest in Portugal. It good for them to motivate them. They had to present their project in front of a large audience, and this project was representing Portugal in the Science on Stage Festival in 2019. We don't forget the special kids we have, and we do a lot of training with special education teachers, okay, to work with special need kids. And we did a project to work with robotics with the Fundação Carlos de Gulbenkian, and they gave us a lot of kits, and we did the teacher training to work with special needs, and usually we do it in the schools, okay? In 2018, our project was one of the champions in the WSIS Awards. We were very happy because we didn't expect it to be recognized.
So much, sir, for your valuable experience sharing, and definitely it will help our speakers and research scholars as well as academicians to move further in their professional and career life by using these tips which you have shared with all of us. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. So
all these W's, in fact, are our actions, our endeavors, are our thoughts, are our processes, which we take in the life and to achieve the objectives. The objectives are obviously Indian accounts wise Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, and today we do add Sarve Bhavantu Dhanina. Everybody should be economically dependent, and he should be prosper. And so the prosperity wise economic goals, they are the foremost, but they need to be augmented in terms of the social hierarchy, macro hierarchy, and ultimately the importance of environmental goals will be most desired, most essential, and they are rather mandatory that one must have to comply with. So we have most desired goal is our job youth, and they should be suitably integrate with the society, and mandatory it is to comply with the environmental sustainability, environmental well-being, and because that is what we need to leave for the society, so that it is so that the world is worth living. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Nirmaya. All must be happy, be healthy, stay good, see good, and no should suffer life. So this is the Indian cause, which is again complemented by the Sustainable Development Goals, and it can be only achieved if we do not if the nature's ability is not ability to replenish is not surpassed. So we have that we should be able to consume less and less from the nature's ability to replenish. I gave an example of water. India is a nation, and we have to come from the environmental degradation to environmental green. And renewal will only come, we are looking at self-reliance and dependence. And so we need to have steady state economy, which is sustainable. In order to achieve the objectives, I propose a three-part framework: alignment, for appreciation, action, and analysis. And appreciation analysis, action and analysis, we should be on the learning at higher order taxonomical skills. Need to go beyond the syllabi, need to correct our perspectives, correct ourselves with respect to the objectives. And we need to accomplish them. Accomplishment is a final effect for the students. So we need to accomplish our objectives. The paradigm of learning should be passes from a stage of unconscious to consciously to subconscious and finally be proactive. Can be considered in terms of non-awareness to awareness, internalize the learning, integrate it, which is a higher order transfer, higher order taxonomical skill, synthesis, and finally transforming. Transforming is the Indian housing that is where tools required. And this has to, so when we prepare our students, they have to look for futuristic challenges. And this is the integrity situation with respect to the objectives, and with respect to, we have to adjust our processes. And we start from alignment, as we discussed in the previous slide, environment between the economical part, environmental part, appreciation with the environment and the social, and social and economic, they will be giving us the information. So we need to align first. They should be able to apply and prepare themselves, adjusting our processes to finally achieve human prosperity. When we look at the challenges for the future, it's going to be frictionless, and we need to integrate our technology priorities and business models to make a frictionless future. The frictionless future is industry 4.0 and all these things that we talked about. And we integrate this in everything, in energy 4.0, in education 4.0, and so on. And this involves a lot of digital team, as this Samudaya has talked about the use of blockchain technologies. The digital team is going to be a big determinator of success and achievement. And it is, we have seen it already in the COVID times. It has changed the way we work, changed the way we studied online education and work from home, and changed the way we consume, change the way we entertain ourselves, change the way we shop. So that's completely changed our processes, and it is going to stay at least for maybe 2 years more, that we should be using the social distancing, mask, and all. The futuristic challenges, they call for preparedness for unforeseen situations, technologies 4.0, and hybrid governance for peace at the rate of new and both the old. And we need to have challenges of automation. Professor Torcato has really kindly and prospects in education. And we need green and sustainable agriculture, availability of clean and potable water. We used to be using software as a service delivering applications over the internet. We already have say Google, Netflix, and Zoom, etc. Go for cloud computing, consumer platform as a service, and a lot of work is being done by the industry group by Tata Communication, Lakshya, Canara, Link Central, Video. So these are already contributing. We keep on evolving to add new, to keep on adding new services. New challenges will come. Students need to be up to date as far as technology is concerned. And we are using this through complemented by Zakarabi model. Zakarabi model is a variation, selection, and assimilation. And variation is very important because whatever stimuli is there, we understand what we try to understand, what we need to understand, until and unless we understand the relative and important things. And what we understand and what we have weighed, we select, and finally accept. And so if we are better aligned, then we would be we would use all available resources, impetus, data, technologies, and internet and all, and finally equip ourselves with the objectives. It's a correctional, and we are already going in for the three-year process which we just very good shown in the slide. And finally, the goal is metamorphosis. And so this is how my goal is like alignment, neutralization, and metamorphosis. And the alignment is with respect to the environment. Neutralization is accomplishment and economic achievement. And now the society part enhanced to a larger part to see a higher level integration, moksha, and all for that metamorphosis. And it is needed to entrench universal values and principles. And this is how. And the importance of my model would be to stay agile, to understand and respond to the impact of technology on the communities. We require innovation, and with that, merging proliferation and artificial intelligence, blockchain technologies, biotechnology, 3D printing, and other technologies, we warrant a new level of preparedness. Investment in the competition is also required. Integrating innovations and capacity in service projects and grants. The process is we need to understand, we need to understand the scenario, situation, the identification, what is the job environment, a balance between them, competencies and constraints, local prioritization of state development goals versus what I need to be equipped of, Atmanirbharta, program, problem definition and objectives, components of certification, application and answer relates to degree certification, etc. Strategy, pricing, quality, differentiation, diversification, integration of futuristic content. Depends on who can be admitted, how they can be admitted, and how can they be differentiated, and what kind of diversifications we can allow. Different students have different objectives, different talent levels, different situations, and they should be, and different designs. So with that, it has to be optimized, and the action plans will give the results, and curriculum development, delivery at higher level learning, process time, higher order learning competencies, ECA. If we have some this, then finally forecast employability skills, innovation competencies, lifelong learning and teamwork, organization culture, and institutional planning. And final part is control, where it is evaluation and monitoring on the high level learning, educational levels, measuring quality, measurement system analysis, evaluation frequency, correctness, corrections and process reviews. And for this, the P diagram comes into our support. The init function output competencies are here. This is what we design. And this is all. And there's some noises which we need to control and need to reduce, but we cannot control them. We can only reduce them. External environment, sustainable development goals, variations towards that. There is lack of controls and diversity. Present corrective stimulus. So these are noise factors, and error states would be complex aspects. These things will be taken care of by technologies and by better consensus working and trial and retrials, etc. And our objective is to match the signal factor, optimize that for the achievement of objectives, and we can continue to improve ourselves. When we talked of shortage of water, some of the questions which arise are, how will we wash clothes in 2025 when the water will be very scarce? It's in Punjab, it's already very scarce. Ground levels are way down. And the other question is, will we need water for drinking? Will we sanitize hands before taking food or wash with soap? Do we need water to cook vegetables, or will we make synthetic water? These are the questions. I'm going to deliberate on one part and see that how can innovation be used. How will we water clothes in 2025? But the question is, why am I audible? Is my internet okay?
Yes, sir. Your voice is audible.
Okay.
Tejaji, it is audible. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's visible.
We use why should we wash hands? Why should we wash our clothes? Should the ultrasonic cleaners be used instead? Can we use static as anti-static treatments for our clothes, like we use in the space suits? We don't wash them, we get them dry cleaned. There's another foolish alternative, because petrol will also be not available. It's already very costly. And don't wear clothes, wear stainless steel jackets. So these are some alternatives. So the students are given a lot of options, and some innovations, some solutions would definitely arise. We look for Deming's reaction, which is very important, because if we are doing a work properly, we will have less rework, we'll have fewer mistakes, fewer delays and snags, better use of materials and machines. The productivity will improve, the cost will stay in the business, and finally provide more jobs. So the students are going to be happy if we are doing our work very nicely and productively. And productivity is the basic of everything, and it's a subset of the equality. And so we need to do our education, whatever actions, whatever objectives we have, they have to be achieved properly using right methods and right framework. So I summarize that we've seen that sustainable development goal need to be inclusive and systematically owned. Some researchers have added the 18th. Maybe more sustainable goals are likely to be added. I am not predicting anything beyond 18, but possibly research is continual. Objectives are targeted towards a more pleasant world for the future, which must pass through innovation in education. So we call it innovation. Deploying innovation is synergistic with people's empowerment. The Regia's O model is the crux of implementing, innovating, and data meeting. And meeting futuristic objectives is likely to be more specialized and aligned with the developments of cybersecurity as Industry 4.0, etc. Though the challenges to continue with hybrid governance, new and old, for ultimate peace have to be continually met. And finally, students, not the least, students need to be up to date as far as technology is concerned, and they have to keep on evolving and adding objects every other day. Thank you very much. Is there any questions?
I think, thank you, Professor Thareja. It was very enriching and very crystal clear presentation where very well you highlighted the challenges that the nation is going to face for sustainable development. And very aptly, you also talked about the action plans. And I think in the time given to you in your keynote address, you have done justice to the topic, and very relevantly, you have shared the insights of how the challenges of futuristic sustainable development are to be tackled in the nation for sustainable development. I extend my heartiest thanks from GEETA Group of Institution family, and thanks for all your inputs and insight. I'm very confident that our delegates and all our dignitaries, and specifically the students and faculty, they are enriched with your experience sharing, and looking forward for further association with you. Thanks a lot, Professor P. Thareja, for such an insightful sharing on the very relevant theme of the topic. Thank you so very much, sir. Now, as we will be proceeding further to the last phase of inaugural session, I have a very important announcement for all the presenters and delegates in the conference, that after this inaugural session, all the delegates have got the details of the panel technical presentation. They know the person and the meeting they are expected to join for it for the conference. And if somebody is still having any doubt, please feel free to connect to us to know about the link of meeting for the presentation. Now all the delegates will be divided into 6 parallel papers, and 4 will be for the engineering branch specific. Moving further, I would, it's my privilege to invite my colleague, Chief Convener of the conference, Dr. Raman Chadda, to propose a vote of thanks to all the dignitaries in this inaugural session. Over to you, Professor Raman Chadda. Sir, your voice is not audible.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot for giving my, it's a privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this international conference for women. On behalf of GEETA Engineering College, I, Dr. Raman Chadda, Dean Engineering, GEETA Engineering College, and entire fraternity of the institute, first of all, my sincere thanks to Almighty God for making able to make the event what it was. A very hearty vote of thanks to the Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Dr. Madan Mohan Goyalji, former Vice Chancellor, Advisor, Public Finance, who blessed us with their presence and took out valuable time of your busy schedule. Also, I would like to extend a special thanks to international keynote speaker, Mr. Samudaya Nanikara, a renowned blockchain expert. The way he explained the topic is exemplary. I also wish to express my gratitude to our another international guest, Mr. George Nigeria Torquato. Dr. P.J. Torquato has achieved and contributed a lot in the field of education for 3 decades. A special thanks for